our YouTube listeners, along with fellow Facebook listeners. This is Craig Smith II here with another episode of Let's Draw on Something, episode 32. This is yours truly, along with my host, who's now representing, who's born and raised in 901, and now he's get ready to do some laws and charge things out in the 832, and y'all will soon know how he do. I am once again Craig Smith II, born and raised in 773, relocated to 901, put up with the hit and miss of the 256, and now I'm relocated back to the 662, and y'all gonna definitely know how I do. In today's episode, matter of fact, this evening's episode, it's gonna be all about we as Jimmy J and I get things caught up, why the show has been delayed. We're also gonna talk about the James Wiseman situation, college football talk. Carmelo, as I call him Carmelo, but I can't call him Carmelo anymore. Carmelo Anthony's return. Jimmy takes the wheel, and we got some Lamar, and we got Lamar Jackson and other fan questions for the day. Also, let me just say this: Let's Draw on Something along with the Jimmy JSmoove Network has been brought to you in part by Trey Styles Customs and Designs. Even there's not anything he cannot customize. Hit him up for all your NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, MLS soccer, FCS soccer, family union shirts, and special customized shirts. We got it all: beer mugs, chef hats, aprons, anything else for your decor of choosing. Hit him up at 901-364-3698. That's 901-364-3698. And if you hit him up on time, since he told me that everybody failed to jump on the 20% discount, he's offering 50% off for 2 days for Thanksgiving Day and Black Friday. 50% off on all items. After Black Friday's over with, it's back to business. So, without further ado, what's going on, Jimmy McWright?
Man, we live and direct in full effect, man. So, man, we're gonna have a great show today, man. But definitely, man, I'm glad to be back again. Been trying
Yeah.
to get some things situated in the personal life as well. So we got some big things popping, man. So
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah, me, man. Enjoying the job, liking the job, man. Getting there, just trying my best, make sure to get there so I can keep a job. But shoot, but man, because I'll be honest with you, man. Ain't no Black Friday shopping for me because when that account hit that negative, and when me you gonna get that first check, that negative gonna eat that bad boy up. So
Dang. Okay.
I already, so I'm gonna try to take care of a little business I can, but then all next month, hey, I'm gonna hit that damn overtime. I already got a plan, dude. Since I'm off Fridays and Saturdays, I'm gonna hit the ass up on Wednesday night and Thursday nights, either or. Cause man, gotta make it while I can. Show the initiative. I do show. You always got to show the initiative when you go into your job if you want to keep it. And for the sake of anatomy, I'm not gonna veil who my job is, where I work, but Jimmy knows. Uh, but I like it. I mean, and you can't go wrong with a job that's starting that much. And if you in a and you know, and I'm gonna say this on a personal note, if you're in a fucking comfort zone where you like working a job, a 65-year-old retirement job, making 10.50 hour, and think you can live and think you can keep up with the Joneses off of that salary, in quotes, well, ain't no in quotes. All I gotta say is bless your heart and go buy yourself something for fucking Christmas because y'all ass need a damn wake up check. Y'all need to wake up to reality. It's no excuse for saying about all these jobs. All these jobs ain't hiring when you got jobs like FedEx, UPS, and every other else that's starting out with between 13 to 15 or possibly and $16 an hour. You know, it's no excuse for you all to say ain't no jobs out there. Fuck, if a high school graduate can get out once he get out of high school, can put in a job application before he can turn 18, he or she can turn 18 like I did 23 years ago, and currently now and some now, then damn it, people my age and Jimmy's age can get their ass out and find a fucking job too. So it's no excuse for y'all. Y'all ass need get the fuck up out the damn comfort zone and I stated on episode 31, and Jimmy did too. I cannot stand to be around people that are still stuck in the ways and stuck in their damn comfort zone. Get with reality. You can't be living the cash money record lifestyle off of that natural ice and ramen noodle budget per hour you making.
Yeah, unless you're working 10 to 12 hours, 10.50 an hour will go fast as hell. Unless you're making that, because at least you're going to supplement it. You got to be working 10 to 12 hours a day, and hope to be working at least 5 6 days a week to live comfortably. Because if you're not, that's your ass. Because
Yeah.
inflation is going up, gentrification is going up, and stuff like that. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Cost of living have just gone to bullshit right now. So um, I do understand. Also, there are certain cities that we live in that if you got a prior conviction of anything, prior felony, they will halt you. I get that. I definitely get that. But if you're able to, you know, get that expunged, especially if something that you've been falsely accused of something, or the DA forced you to have to make a confession, because there are situations like that. People get so scared that they don't know their rights, and they get in a situation to where they get caught up in the system. Well, if you make a confession, we're only going to give you 2 years, 6 months, and then you get to court, your black ass is in jail for 10 years, after these motherfuckers then forced you to make a bullshit ass confession. And always remember this: when people try to make you say something, ask for your lawyer. Don't make them, don't put them in a position to where, unless you know for a fact you did the crime. If you did the crime, do the fucking time. If you don't do nothing out here to where you got to be in a position to where you start snitching on folks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what a lot of motherfuckers do. You know what I'm saying? And don't do nothing that you gonna regret later on down the line. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't cut like that, if you ain't about that, don't do it. But if you
And
want
don't try to be about that, and don't try to be about that either,
to,
because your ass will end up getting hurt.
but yeah, but also, if you know you're in a situation to where the guys had forced you to do a confession, get that shit expunged. Get a good lawyer, and get that shit expunged, and so you can rest easy. You know what I'm saying? And I got a couple of guys that's in real estate. My boy Martin Perry, out of Oak Haven, the 2004 class of Oak Haven. He graduated a year after me. Shout out to him. He became a millionaire after getting caught up in the Fed case. You know what I'm saying? He was living that life, and he did his time. And from my understanding, if he ain't already a millionaire, he's making at least six figures.
Right.
And once I get my thing off the ground, my little business off the ground, because it's gonna be a little business. I may have to work for somebody a couple of more years, a few more years. But once I get my little business off the ground, I'm gonna get into some real estate and start popping out babies up here. I ain't gonna be no nigolo up in this motherfucker and get a whole bunch of baby mamas. But you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna sit my ass down somewhere, at least by 40, 45, between 40 and 45, depending on what the universe blessed me with. So, but nevertheless, do not, get caught up in that system. You know what I'm saying? If you can avoid it. And like I say, if you're in a whack ass city, get your ass out that whack ass city. If you're in a city that you can't find no goddamn jobs, you know what I'm saying? If you know how to network in Memphis, you can find jobs. But if you're not the type of person that already got that connection, I say most of these guys, if you ain't already got your hustle, because I know a couple of people that's doing good. I went out there almost 12 months ago, and they're doing pretty good. But everybody does not have those networks in Memphis. So if your city is that damn whack, get the fuck out your city. You know what I'm saying? If your city's so raggedy that you don't feel nothing but lint in your pocket, get your city. Come down to Texas. Go down to Phoenix, Arizona. Go down to a city that has a stable job market. And you might have a setback, but you can make a major comeback. So my thing is just get on top of your game. You know what I'm saying? If your city whack, you know what I'm saying, get away from that motherfucker. So it is what it is when it comes to that, man.
Oh, no doubt. All right, we got to start something early. It's time for Jimmy to take the wheel. This time, he found out he got some found out some news from me that I tagged him in on Facebook that has him jumping. He hates this person with a passion. And I'm talking about he hates this person so much with a passion, he's gonna go unfiltered and pure, unadulterated, taking the wheel on this person. And let me see. And boy, and when I talk and when I mean he's gonna go unfiltered and he's gonna go ham. When I'm talking about he gonna take the wheel, he gonna drive them straight to hell and where they need to go. He gonna take the wheel. Gabrielle Union was fired from America's Got Talent after speaking out against problematic racism, sexism, and more. They replaced women and blacks as Simon's whim. Gabrielle Union has been fired from America's Got Talent, and there's apparently a lot more to the story than what was officially announced. NBC sources tells LoveBScott.com exclusively her firing came as a result of her speaking about problematic singular quote situations. They said her contract was not renewed after being the number one talent on the show, NBC and network TV. She set the record for her golden buzzer. They only replaced the women and blacks at Simon's whim. She wouldn't walk away from 12 million a year because she's busy. Based on weekly interactions on social media, by the time the AGT finale aired, Gabrielle was the number one talent on network TV for 2019. Why not pick up someone's option in extreme success? Then the sources continue. Social media engagement is the new measuring stick for talent, and Simon isn't on social media. Julianne and Gabrielle were both way higher ranked and engaged than Howard. The idea of the network wants to switch things up only applies to women and black folks. Nick Cannon wasn't crazy. He walked away from 8 figures over how AGT operates. And as everybody know, about 2 years ago, he announced on Facebook that he was threatened with termination by executives after he made a racial joke about NBC on his Showtime stand-up special. He quit his job as host of America's Got Talent prior to the 12th season, saying, "My soul won't allow me to be in business with corporations that attempt to frown upon freedom of speech, censor artists, and questionable cultural choices." NBC sources tell LoveScott.com exclusively that Gabrielle's firing is merely a continuation of their problematic tendencies. Let's say that didn't start the racism, homophobia, transphobia, Islamophobia, etc. in season 14. They were quite comfortable with it all by the time Gabrielle got there. Remember, remember, Nick Cannon said NBC stands for niggas be careful.
Niggas be careful.
Hey, that's true though. Keep in mind that Tyra Banks, Heidi Klum, and Mel B all left the show last year. It's not the first time Simon's been accused of misogyny. So if true, we can't imagine racism being far behind. So, Jimmy McWright, finna give you the keys, brother. You get ready to drive. You get ready to take the wheel of a brand new spanking Ferrari. So, Jimmy, if you would, and if you're ready for this long drive, please take the wheel.
Live. Live and direct. So here's my thing with Gabrielle Union. I'm glad that bitch got fired. Because first of all, the way she doing her stepson is 100,000% bullshit. That's first and foremost. She deserves that shit. Anytime you sell your soul and get your kid to sell their soul, by taking them to the gay parade, an 11-year-old who doesn't quite understand his sexuality, you gotta piss on the toilet with me. That's first and foremost. You can turn the music off if you would, please. So I got it. You know what I'm saying? But first of all, when you exploit and put your stepson's booty hole out there, basically that's what she's doing. An 11-year-old kid who has nothing, because she got the kid in dresses and all types of shit, and she obviously put a spell on Dwayne Wade.
Ain't no obvious. She did put a spell. That smile.
She put a spell on Dwayne Wade, and I don't know if what happened to Gabrielle Union, because nobody should be raped. Because from my understanding, when she was working at Macy's or one of those clothing lines before she got famous, she was raped, and that was unfortunate. Mm-hmm. But when you let your circumstance turn into something to where you hate all men, that's a major problem. Particularly black men. She's taking this out on black men more than ever. First of all, when black people start talking about misogyny and transphobia in conjunction with racism, that's a problem right there. That's an automatic red flag for anybody. Because the thing about it is our situation as black people is way different than people in the LGBT community. Our problems is way different than women's rights issue. And first of all, let's get this something correct. When she talking about misogyny and stuff like that, for the most part, white women don't go through misogyny like that. And I can debate anybody and tell them why they don't go through the same misogyny. The only people that truly go through misogyny is black women for the most part. And it's not because of black men. Let's just be clear on that. It's not because of black men. Let's be clear about that. So her putting that bullshit in those same sentences, yes, bitch, yo big forehead fine ass, or your big forehead ass, your goddamn Canadian Football League stadium head ass deserves to be fired. I'm glad. I love every minute of it, and she needs to be blacklisted. The type of shit she's done with those Wade kids is, you talking about freedom of expression. And I'm gonna get on Alicia Keys' ass on another show too, because she's straddling that.
No. You can come on with it too, because she needs to catch this. Yeah,
you need to catch this L too, bitch. The fact that you have a 5-year-old boy talking about he needs to paint his nails and freedom of expression with your goddamn goddamn Looney Tunes goon looking ass. Bitch, you need to catch these hands too, goddamn it, bitch. You exposing another person's kid too, goddamn it. You talking about, I want him to express himself, and there's nothing wrong with showing your face. Bitch, shut the fuck up, bitch. What the fuck is wrong with these goddamn women talking about the new masculinity and all this shit?
And then on another note, Alicia Keys lost my respect for when she broke up a happy home between Swiss Beats and his first wife.
Yeah, but
Swizz is also at fault with that shit too.
Yeah, I mean, as a woman, you got enough. She should have had sense enough to go on and not deal with it. If you know a dude got a wife at home, because the thing is, this is because really, I'm gonna tell you the truth about that situation. Alicia Keys got off the ground with her old boyfriend because she got a label on her own called Crucial Keys, and that was started with her ex-boyfriend. She not only broke up one happy home, she broke up her own happy home because the guy Crucial, I can't think of the guy's name, but it was in Ebony magazine. It's on the website. He basically got her foot in the door. That's another thing. Alicia Keys is a unfaithful, gutter snipe bitch. That's what the fuck she is. She broke up a fucking 2 happy homes in one, with contributions to Swiss Beats or Beat Your Meat. What that's his name as far as I'm concerned. Because that's what the fuck his name is as far as I'm concerned. But she fucked up a business relationship. Not only her home, she fucked up a good business relationship. What has Alicia Keys done since she got with Swiss Beats? Let's explain it there.
Okay, well let me try it. Let me see. She came. What's going on, Marcus Johnson? He said, "Ain't no damn way in hell I'll let my 42-year-old paint they damn nails." Me either. Shit.
Most definitely. Respect.
Most definitely. Respect. Most definitely.
Yeah, but she broke up too happy. Wait.
Okay, but to answer your question, she called herself coming out with that song. That girl is on fire. Yeah, you on fire. Yeah, you on fire. All right, because that song right there, yeah, it caught fire in the trash. Because back in the day, Alicia Keys was the shit, man. When she came out in 99, 2000, and then when she came out with that other song, some people want it all, but I don't have nothing at all. That when she came out with that song. Now, what a lot of people don't know, which is also one of the fan, which is also spoiler alert, was a is a fan question which related to our favorite music that we'll answer later on the show. Hell, I had the Alicia Keys' CDs, man. When she came out with the first one, and then when she came out her second song, the one with You Don't Know My Name, and then when she came out with Some People Want It All, that really was her best song. But when she came out with that trash, that girl is on fire. Yeah.
Hey,
all right.
let me confirm everything. The exact guy that Alicia Keys was dating before Swiss Beats, before she broke up that partnership, was a dude named Carey Brothers, who wrote songs for Mario, Rakim, Angie Stone, Nas, Keisha Cole. Basically, virtually, if you want to be honest with you, one of the contributors to Keisha Cole's career. I'm sorry, but he started Alicia Keys' career as well, and he did the Shaft, Dr. Dolittle, and Ali soundtracks. So yes, she broke this relationship up because Carey Brothers Jr. was the dude that really discovered her. Basically, because they was writing songs all the way in the mid-90s. You know what I'm saying? So she fucked that up. She had a good thing going, and then she got with Swiss Beats trying to go for the big baller, shot caller. Bitch, you got a good thing going with Carey Brothers, because Carey Brothers was the gateway to her success. No ifs, ands, and fucking buts about it. You know what I'm saying? In the music industry, there's always a haven for your success and shit like that. She broke that partnership up, and everything she's done from this point on had been basura, as the Spanish people say. Mucho basura, as the Spanish people will say. So, bitch, get up out of here. Get up out of here with that bullshit talking about your kids need to express themselves. Bitch, be gone with that shit. And Gabrielle Union, you go to hell too, ho. You go to hell too, ho. Exploiting your goddamn little kid like that.
And Dwayne, his sucker ass, he all for it.
Fuck that boxhead hoe too. He a hoe too. He a whole boxhead hoe. Fuck that
pussy whip.
Pussy ain't that good to where you can't think it logically. If pussy make you do all that, nigga, you need to jump in a bayou out here. You need to go to the nearest bayou, brave bayou, or swamp, and let the alligators eat you. You know what I'm saying? I love
the alligators are probably wouldn't eat his ass. They see him, they say, "Oh, that's Dwayne Wade." And the other alligator like, "Man, I don't want to eat that motherfucker. Fuck him, his pussy whipped ass, man. Let's go on back up under the water. Shit, the alligator's probably talking. Man, let's take my ass back up under the water. Shit, I ain't got time for all this shit."
I love pussy too, but damn, it ain't to the point to where it's gonna be a detriment to me. I'll drop your ass like a bad habit. Ask anybody that done dated me before. I drop your ass. I ain't got no problem with dropping your ass. When the minute I see you a liability, I might let you get away with something for a few months, but after that few months, I'm like, bitch, be gone. Bitch, be gone. So Gabby L. Union and Alicia Keys, bitches be gone, ho. So it is what it is, man. You can start another topic if you so choose, brother.
Oh, no doubt. The return of Carmelo Anthony.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he finally, from what I found out, man, I've been out of the loop for a while. I found out he's now a Portland Trailblazer now, and he scored 25 points the other night, and he hit the game winner. So, and I've had a lot of opinions about Carmelo. I used to call him Carsmello, but the way his career was, I don't want to see Carmelo go down like that. When he was at when he put up with all that with that bullshit in New York. Then when he went to OKC, excuse me, I apologize, y'all. And then turn around, he went to Houston, and that really didn't pan out. And now he's with Portland. So, Jimmy, do you think he'll probably with and Damian and all the Portland Trailblazers team, especially the coach and Damian Lillard showing him love, man. I mean, I'm glad I'm like this here. I'm glad they giving him an opportunity because
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see Carmelo go down like that. I don't want to see Carmelo go down like a like a chump. He gotta have his own swan song, man. I mean, if he come out hooping like scoring 25, give you at least 15 to 20 or 20, 15 to 25 points a night, more power to him. But man, I mean, this ought to help Portland some, even though they in a slow start, but they're gonna get into the playoffs though. So, Jimmy, do you think this with Carmelo adding leadership to the team, you think this will help Portland out some
As
and
long as
help his career?
as long as Carmelo ego is not involved, as long as he don't, because the biggest problem with Carmelo typically have been ego. When he had AI those years at Denver, ego was involved. When he was with J.R. Smith at Denver, all those years, ego had been involved. And it's some teammates that went to bat for him. Earl Watson came out and said he wasn't as egotistical as people make him out to be. But everybody in NBA got an ego. Let's just keep it 1,010.
Mm-hmm.
You hear people talking about you as how good you is, how cold you is, how good your shot is. Everybody has an ego in the NBA. It's just some people have more control over their ego than others. You know what I'm saying? Let's just bring that out in the forefront. I want him to get his life together. I know that it's a possibility him and Lala may break up, and he needs to at least play another couple of years before because Lala gonna take him to the bank. Let's just keep it 1,010. She gonna take him to the bank if they ain't already got back together. Hopefully they get back together. I would love for them to
Yeah,
get back
and then they got son because they got his son Melo Jr. Which ironically,
together.
if you look up Carmelo's full name, his son's name is that reverse.
Uh huh. Yeah, and like I
Hello, whatever he is. Hello, look like Indian name. I don't know what it is.
yeah, what's popping and what's dropping, and everybody's welcome. What's popping and what's dropping, more than welcome. But nevertheless, as long as his ego don't get involved, I think Portland can be dangerous. But he's at the end. He's pretty much at the end of his career, and he's gotta make what's best for him. And one thing that pissed me off more than anything, and it's not to piss on anybody, but I have to piss on somebody because the Lakers had an opportunity to get him, and LeBron James, all he had to do was, and Ticket TV brought this up, and I'm in agreement with them.
Mm-hmm.
Ticket TV called LeBron James' ass out. He could have gotten Carmelo Anthony coming off the bench when the NBA called themselves temporarily blackballing Carmelo Anthony. LeBron could have easily, what I'm saying, got him on the team. Yes, Carmelo's still getting paid from the New York Knicks contract. That's not going to ever change. He's going to still get that money either on the front end or the back end. He still get that money. He just want to play basketball a few more years in case his wife takes him to the bank or they end up breaking up. Hopefully they don't break up. I'm just saying this for you know what I'm saying, verification purposes. But nevertheless, the Lakers could have had an opportunity to get him. He could have
Right.
took he could have took the veteran minimum and got him on the team. He could have asked Jeannie Buss because pretty much Jeannie Buss is gonna do whatever LeBron say. You know what I'm saying, for the most part. Anyway, you know what I'm saying, if it's not too illogical. You know what I'm saying? Because he got Dwight Howard on the team. Dwight Howard's on the team mainly because LeBron James is on the team, and he got another dude on the team. I can't think of his name. So he could have got Carmelo on that team, but now Carmelo got a starting position. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, you could have got this nigga on your team. This dude been your Olympic teammate for at least three of those Olympics. So shit, you could have hooked the brother up. Shit. So I gotta get on your ass. I love you as a player, but that was some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? His buckethead bitch ass should have got that man on the LA Lakers team, and that was some bitch move. I'm gonna call it what it is. It's a bitch move. He could have got him on that team, and LeBron James even kind of verified to say, "I wished I had got him on the team," per se, paraphrasing what LeBron James said. So, but nevertheless, I'm glad Carmelo's back in the league. It's good. It's good that Carmelo's back in the league. Fuck all you media members who want to piss on this guy for what, because he's a 2010 guy, night in and night out. So fuck all you media members. Y'all media members is some whole hoes for pissing on this kid. So y'all need to sit y'all ass down and you know what I'm saying, and watch the show, bitch. So it is what it is. I'm glad the kid back in the league, man. I'm glad he's able to do his thing, man. So I'm very respectful of that. So hopefully the Trailblazers do a little something, but nevertheless, he's good.
All right. Next subject. Jimmy wanted to talk about the James Wiseman situation. So what's going on with that?
Hold on for a second. Let me pull this article up. According to 24/7 Sports News, James Wiseman, uh, James Wiseman to make eligibility appeal on Wednesday, following the suspension for 12 games. Immediately appeal on the decision on Wednesday. Wiseman's suspension will take place according to multiple sources close to the situation. The appeal will be heard by the NCAA legislature, created by or the CLR of the NCAA Committee for Legislation Relief, voting by 7 members made up by a D1 athletic department in compliance around the country. From the NCAA's policies subcommittee members waiver when no other subcommittee has the authority to waive the legislation extenuating in extraordinary circumstances. In the NCAA, in April of 2017, the council granted staff authority to consider extenuating circumstances, exercise reasonable discretions, and cases allowed the mitigating factors that may justify from the strict application of legislation. Case of president's or committee guidelines where the prescribed outcome is disproportionate and inconsistent with legislative intent. This authority applies with legislative relief waiver, except for waivers of 4-year college transfer requirements. Through his legal counsel, the NCAA ruled him ineligible. Standing alongside, Wiseman filed an injunction later in the day in an hour in a tip-off against Chicago, Illinois. The University of Memphis decided to let him play, finished the game with 17-9. He broke the news to his legal counsel that he's non-suiting the game. He was voluntarily non-suiting the case, in which means they are dropping the lawsuit against the NCAA. With Chase Young's suspension being reduced to 4 to 2 games on Wednesday, his legal counsels feel like they can work out a similar compromise. To continue great faith, the University of Memphis announced that Wiseman would be ineligible and would be applied for reinstatement, and there are still no details about the potential 7'1" centers. Uh, Here's a statement for the University of Memphis. In order to matter, the university has declared him ineligible for competition and will immediately apply for reinstatement. He will be withheld from competition, but will be able to continue to practice based on NCAA laws. The NCAA is fully aware of the nature and the challenge, and the university is confident they will render a fair and equitable uh, decision and consistent with its mission. The NCAA on November 20th suspended Wiseman for 12 games, in which three of those games have already been served. With a 12-game suspension, he will be immediately to return against the University of South Florida, but the University of Memphis have immediately appealed the decision. So, nevertheless, and please forgive me because a lot of the language is conservative English language. Even some white people don't understand this shit. You know, you'd have to go all the way to England to understand this bullshit. But it's conservative language. I'm calling it what it is. I've
I
talked.
know, but you told the truth, man.
Yeah, I have some white people like that's some. Don't use those big words. Shit. Put it to be plain. So it's very conservative
Yeah.
language in that particular thing. But hopefully they reduce the suspension to. I say he needs to be able to play against the Tennessee game. NC State, if Memphis wins, we just need to keep winning up until the Tennessee game. I would say he need to come back for the Tennessee game. If they can make a compromise to where he can come back for the Tennessee game, that would be great because it defeats the purpose of him being the number one player. I feel like he would get national attention if he at least plays well, even if Memphis loses versus Tennessee, which is going to be hard because we've only won 4 times in Knoxville. We've only won 4 times in Knoxville, which our first win against Tennessee was in Knoxville when Wade Houston was the head coach. But I don't think we haven't won. I don't think in Knoxville since Pastner was the head coach.
Right.
Calipari broke the losing streak. We won in Knoxville when Kevin O'Neal was there. Lorenzen Wright's freshman year in 1995. So, nevertheless,
And Bruce Pearl, and then with Bruce Pearl, who can forget the number 1, number 2 Memphis versus Tennessee game, and Bruce Pearl was putting onus to Calipari's ass.
Yeah, but again, with Bruce Pearl runs the same system. Runs the same dribble drive system. So,
But it's better.
It's a lot better because he had better shooters and he knows how to control them. Because with
he lets his players play the way they supposed to play.
Yeah, because
not the way he wants them to play.
Because they should have beat Virginia last year. Virginia found out in that second half when they were down. Virginia found out how effective that system was because they started running up and down the court against their ass, and they damn near. Which you could argue that foul was very controversial because the dude was the intent. Even though it's contact, the rules says if the guy jumps straight up, it's not a foul. If he leans in, that's a foul. So that could have been that's a foul that could be argued either way. And the same shit happened to them. Same shit happened to Tennessee versus Purdue, which that foul could have been argued. That could have it was contact, but it could have been argued a foul. Because a foul can be intent to make contact. If it's not intent to make contact, they don't have to call the foul. So that's a 50-50 call. But nevertheless, hopefully James Wiseman be able to come back against Tennessee. I want him to be able to come back against Tennessee because it defeats the purpose of him even being the number one player because every team he's going to play against is going to be putty patrollers, basically. Cincinnati got a decent basketball team.
And in Cincinnati, let me put it like this: Cincinnati and especially Houston, and I don't know why Houston is not ranked this year. They're not putty patrol.
No, they're not. They're not a bomb of a team, and I think Kelvin Sampson has done a great job with them. They lost to Oregon the other night, but barely lost to them. So Kelvin Sampson, he got that kid out of Kansas to come, and he recruited the first All-American, the McDonald's All-American in Houston since the Phi Gamma days. So with him giving that pickup, it's been beneficial to him. So he's staying home in Houston to recruit the local guys and stuff like that. He does a little outside recruiting because he had a couple of dudes from Chicago last year on the team as well. But for the most part, he doesn't have to go anywhere. And that's why I said before, it would have been a fool for him to leave Houston because, number one, Fertitta is willing to put out the money. And then, Fertitta's willing to spend that money. But even with Dana Holgorsen, even though the Houston football team has not had great success this year, ultimately they will have success because Fertitta is a long term.
Yeah.
He's not a short term guy, which is why he's got Russell Westbrook. He's thinking on the long term. He was like, "Hey, I don't expect my team to win the championship this year. The intent is to win a championship this year." But I'm thinking from a long-term position because he said, if we had gotten Chris Paul, even though he was not the owner of the Houston Rockets, he said had Chris Paul came around the same time as James Harden, they would have gotten a championship. So he said there's a difference between 5 years could make. Yes, he's doing good at OKC now, but you saw in the Golden State series that his decline was there. So he what ended up happening was Fertitta ended up pulling the plug, which was a smart business move on his end. Yeah, you want to keep him, you want to see that kid win a championship, but you got to think in terms of is this a good business move? And I warn people from the jump, he's gonna get rid of Chris Paul because he sees he's a businessman. Fertitta's a businessman. Whether his say so in the University of Memphis, University of Houston. I say University of Memphis. What the fuck? University of Houston, or his say so in the Houston Rockets. But nevertheless, I'm pulling for James Wiseman to come back for the Tennessee game. If he can come back for the Tennessee game, suspension served, which the kids shouldn't have been suspended to begin with. But we know the NCAA is with that fuck shit. They don't like the University of Memphis. They want to see University of Memphis crumble and get an earthquake put on it by the St. Magic fault. But it's not going to happen no time soon anyway. We hope no earthquake happens anyway. But nevertheless, I want James Wiseman to appeal that motherfucker and come back against the University of Tennessee game, which is a big rivalry. And I want to see us stomp the goddamn UT Vols. Even though I like the Vols, but when the University of Memphis played the Vols, that's the only time I'm going to have hate in my heart for the Vols. So it is what it is. So good luck, James Wiseman. I'm pulling for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I agree because the NCAA they are with the fuck shit, and really I still say to this day, Calipari got something to fucking do with it because why the fuck? It's kind of mighty convenient that the head athletic director is in charge of something with the NCAA.
Mm-hmm.
That's mighty fucking convenient.
Yeah, and not only that, a local Kentucky in Owensboro, like you said on the last live stream we had, in full effect on my show, even the newspaper in Owensboro said he had something to do with that. That's bad when a team out there, when a newspaper who's typically Kentucky biased, you know what I'm saying, who cuts for Kentucky comes out and say they're full of shit. That's bad when your own local state newspaper say you with the fuck shit.
Yeah, that's beyond bad. That's past bad.
That's past bad. And it ain't nothing but and not only that, it's 90%. I think Owensboro's like 90% white. You know what I'm saying? So the attorney Richard Johnson out of Cleveland, he was like, this is clearly racial and it's clearly some fuck shit. And he studies the bylaws because he's gotten several people off the NCAA, off the NCAA off of him. He got several people off because he's known for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All in multiple sports. So he knows the law. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad my boy homie Sean Gunn. And speaking of Sean Gunn, from my understanding, he's sick.
Oh man.
He's sick from my understanding. Let me scroll up on Facebook. He say he's sick. Let me cause and I hope the kid pulled through this, man. My brother pulls through this, man, because
and we're not going to reveal what it is. I'm pretty sure he wants his privacy.
No, he actually posted on Facebook. He actually posted it on
Facebook.
He actually, yeah. If it was private, I would have said something about it. Okay, he has stage 3 kidney disease, elevated creatine.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah, and
So that more likely mean he'll probably get a kidney transplant then.
hopefully he does. But he said, stop eating all these processed as food and diary. It'll eventually catch up with you. Low protein diet, and I'm going to continue to exercise it, and I'll beat it. But like I say, every rapper in Memphis, from Yo Gotti, you know what I'm saying.
Man,
You know, this dude is really the reason why Yo Gotti is where he is, and a lot of other guys after the Yo Gotti era. Along with his big brother. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of these new guys that's coming out, he had something to do with those guys getting to where they are now. You know what I'm saying? No ifs, ands, and buts about it. A lot of these guys would not be in the position they are in Memphis. I'm talking about the guys before 3-6, A-ball, because those guys basically had Houston riding their backs. Let's just keep this 1,010. And in 3-6 Mafia case, really, Bone Bugs and Harmony really gave them their start because they made a diss. They made a diss on the love for the love of money. The first verse. Listen to that verse. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
Nevertheless, everybody from
For
Sean,
the love of money.
the first verse they did 3-6 Mafia, so they kind of gave 3-6 some clout. And then when they made a diss song in Houston, they kind of gave them their clout. But everybody after that, before Yo Gotti was Yo Gotti, his name was Lil Yo. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was looking at a documentary, and the guy from England came all the way to England because a lot of guys, Atlanta rap is really Memphis rap. If you just want to be
True.
anything after Outkast, anything after the Outkast era is pretty much Memphis rap. And they go down to Memphis and study rapping, and dude from England was on top of it. But nevertheless, you dudes who coming out here in Memphis, the Memphis rap scene, y'all need to praise Sean Gunn. I'm gonna just keep it 1,010 because Yo Gotti wouldn't have got where he was without Big Jook and Sean Gunn. Because Big Jook made a connection with Sean Gunn. He knew he was the plug, and a lot of other guys, you know what I'm saying, made a connection with him. At this point, a lot of these dudes need to respect that because he really got Yo Gotti to get to because he created the access to Atlanta because Yo Gotti held down the whole tri-state area, so because Sean Gunn had threw parties and all over the Memphis metropolitan area to get that dude to where he was. And then after that, he got that record deal with Lil Jon. That didn't work out too good, you know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, if you connected to Sean Gunn as a rapper, you connected to Atlanta, Georgia. Point blank period, end of discussion. So these guys need to put some respect on that dude's name. So I hope this dude beat this thing. I hope this dude get him a transplant that he need and beat this thing because I always talk about him all the time because
Right.
he's a respectable dude. And this dude could have easily left Memphis and went to Atlanta, went to Dallas, went to Houston, went somewhere else to put his money. But he decided to stay in Memphis. He decided to stay in Memphis and give Memphis a club seat. In spite of all the fuck shit, the Shelby County, clerk's office, they wouldn't even give this dude a business license to start his own club. Because if he started his whole club, CGI Entertainment would have been shut down years ago. It would have been shut down years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna tell y'all, put some respect on that man's name and much respect to Sean Gunn, man. Hope you beat it, man. You got none but love for me, man. You got none but love for me, man. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
no doubt. Thoughts and prayers to Sean, wasn't it Sean
Sean,
Gunn?
Sean Gunn, man. Sean
Yeah,
Gunn, man.
thoughts and prayers go out to him, man. Hey, don't give up. You beat that shit. There ain't no you can't. No, you will beat it.
You will
You
beat
will
it.
beat it. Most definitely. Also, hey, Jimmy, it's almost around about that time again. It's the tax season preparation. Got to get everything going. So to all you women to all you men to all you women and you fellas that want to move in with everybody you date, you ain't nothing but a damn foster hoe. So to all you little foster hoes out there, get your own shit.
Mm-hmm.
Get your own shit. Now, college football talk. So, per Corey Wolf passed through the grapevine that somebody didn't even let the ink dry on their contract. That's right. Willie Taggart did. I think Willie Taggart, Slick Willie, does live up to his moniker because he didn't even sign the damn contract, and now Florida State gonna have to pay him. So, what you think about that, Jimmy?
Mm, but you know what? Florida State could easily contest. Uh, they could easily contest that that they could easily contest that contract, and ultimately, if they verbally stated it, they gonna pay them. They gonna have to own up to it, you know, because they don't necessarily have to have a contract to pay him off. But from my understanding, from rumors on the street, even though they don't want to admit this, they got the boosters to come together and get some money to pay that man off. But nevertheless, they can contest it. If they decide to contest it, they could probably work out a deal for like 12, 15 million, you know, cut a little thing. But you always sign your contract. If you're gonna be hired at
Right.
a job, you always sign your contract because they could look at it as, like they said in the article, an at will employee. Because Florida is one of the at will states, one of the 42 at will states out there in this country. So um, Willie Taggart, if they come back and decide to be like, hey, you got to drop this money off, then hey, you know, it's gonna be bad for Slick Willie. But
Yeah.
nevertheless, I think they wanted him out so bad to where, you know, they was like, you know, hey, uh, hey, we want this motherfucker out of here, so we gonna go on and we gonna go on and just pay this motherfucker off. So it is what it is when it comes to that.
Yep. Also, what you think about Charlie Strong being informed his last game he would no longer be the coach at South Florida. So you think by chance Willis should go back there?
If he can, but as long as they don't have a clause in that settlement to where he can't go back to as long as they don't have a clause in that contract to where he can't go back to his alma mater or go coach nobody. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm not mad at Charlie Strong. I just wish his bald head, scallywag ass had stayed his ass at Louisville. He should have stayed his bald head, scallywag ass at Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
He should have stayed at Louisville. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I like
And you
Charlie. I like
and,
Charlie Strong. Go ahead.
and I didn't mean to cut you off. And Skip Bayless had revealed on the old, uh, I think it was the first season of Undisputed, said that when Charlie Strong was the defensive coordinator at Florida, and he said, he'll talk, Dale was talking, just talking off, no, he said what, no, but he said I didn't have no pen and pad or anything. He said they were just talking. So Skip had asked him, he said, with all these good coaching jobs that's coming, he said, why are you not considered? And she said, Charlie Strong told him straight up. He said, Skip, he said, most of these schools don't want a black man that's married to a white woman.
Yeah,
And I'm like, wow. But when he had a fucking gold mine at Louisville, man. I mean, he never had a losing season. They were just all winning seasons. He knew what he was doing. And they said all the players that played for him, they loved Charlie Strong, man. I mean, because he did his thing in the film room. He got on everybody and stuff like that. He said, but making these, when it came to these guys just being men, he was it, you know.
yeah, because
But
he really was the reason why Bridgewater was doing so good at Louisville and did because he stole Bridgewater from Miami. Bridgewater was supposed to go to the University of Miami, and he got a steal with Bridgewater. Uh, and the
well,
thing
you
was,
want me to tell you why? Because Bridgewater revealed the reason. He said because Al Go wasn't gonna start that, man. Because Miami wasn't shit with
mhm.
that Al Golden dude, man.
Yeah, and not just that, he went to the famous Northwest High School out there in Miami, which is a football powerhouse in the Miami metropolitan area, along with Fort Lauderdale. I think it's San Aquinas, something like that. It's a private school in Fort Lauderdale. But
Right.
nevertheless, Charlie Strong should have stayed his ass at Louisville because
Agreed.
from my understanding, they was willing to pay him because and even they was willing to pay him the same amount that he was gonna be paid at Texas. And the thing about Texas, the reason why he failed is because he didn't have access to the recruits and talent in Florida like he did at Louisville.
True.
And you know, he fucked his connection off because with Texas, he was just a new guy on the block that just he was a Florida guy going to Texas, and that don't pan out too well in a lot of cases. So he should have stayed at Louisville, fought it out because I think he would have had success even with them going to the ACC. I think he would have he would have panned out there because with the years that Lamar Jackson came there, that would have been worked very well. He would have worked real
Hell
good.
yeah.
He had a hell of an offensive coordinator over there at Louisville. But what ended up
And he
happening,
also had a hell of a defensive offensive line too.
yeah,
And that was the one bad thing about Bobby Petrino's offenses. Hey, and we that then, but Petrino another subject and another time. Petrino's a well-renowned scumbag. Emphasis on the word fucking scumbag, but his offenses, man, shit. He ran. I think he really ran the best pro style spread offense ever. An NFL spread offense ever. And NFL coaches was trying to get with Petrino. Petrino was like, no, because we were talking about we borrow your shit. Like, nope.
yeah,
Even though I don't like Petrino after how he did Atlanta and then that shit he tried to pull with Tommy Tuberville,
oh yeah,
who's scum himself, but yeah, man, if Willie can go back to South Florida, man, he'll probably I think he was better at South Florida than anything, you know.
yeah, and with
But he just gonna have to learn. But Willie, to me, he's just gonna have to sit down more. I think what Willie should do is this, which is just take a break from coaching. Spend time with the family, spend time with the wife, spend time with the boys and shit. You know, get reacquainted with your family, and then when the time come knocking, if a Florida school wants you to come coach them. Hell, because if I'm not mistaken, South Florida and Florida Atlantic are both in Tampa. So if the rumors is true about Lane Kiffin maybe FSU bound, hey, that's a good landing spot for Willie Taggart.
uh, South Florida and what is in Tampa?
Florida Atlantic.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Hold on just for a second. I'm finna go handle some business real quick. Hold on just for a second. Keep talking, brother. Hold on.
All right. Well, while Jimmy is on that, I'm finna take a little intermission right quick, y'all, because I got to print out. I'm finna make some noise. He has something involved with the printer.
I'm back now.
All right. Yeah. All
I'm
right.
back.
I
So,
understand, man. So, yeah, I think, man, and be honest with you, because from what I was reading on Twitter, they said Bob Stoops may be the next coach.
mm,
So, I don't know, man, but I wouldn't mind Lane Kiffin being in that fold, man, because shit, even though Jimmy hate, he has released his hate of Lane Kiffin as of late. You know, I think he'd be a good fit for him.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, yeah, man.
He'd
So
definitely be a good fit.
I think so, but I think he probably need to stay at Atlantic just a couple of more years. But yeah, I know. But nevertheless, with South Florida, I think Taggart should go back to South Florida, and if he's not going to go back to South Florida, he just need to stay out of coaching. Period.
Hmm.
He just needs to probably chill because he could build that program to where they need to be because he had a good thing going before he took the big money, which is nothing wrong with taking the big money. Like Corey Wolf say, you take what they give you, but sometimes you got to build your resume. Like Chris Peterson. Chris Peterson had a gold mine at Boise State after old boy Hawkins left. Dan Hawkins, I think his name is. He left, and Peter
Yeah.
kept the thing going, kept Boise State going. Even to this day, the foundation was built by Dan Hawkins and Chris Peterson, the offensive coordinator.
Yep. And
And
it was Dan Hawkins that told Boise State when he left Colorado. He said, you better hire Chris."
yeah,
He said, "You
yeah,
better hire Chris, so I'm taking him with me."
yeah, and that's what he did. And then look what he's doing at Washington now.
Even though they got a shitty season this year, but
But he's won the Pac-12 a couple of times under Peterson.
hmm
So he, if even if he fails at Washington, he always got something to go back to if he shits the bed. But he's only had like one losing season at Washington, from my understanding. One or two. He hasn't had no more than two losing seasons since he's been over there. But
one.
one. Okay, so he's done a hell of a job over there at Washington, but he built his resume. So when they finally do, the big job do finally come. Okay, he's prepared to not only build that program but to sustain that program. Sometimes because Willie Taggart only had two good seasons over there at South Florida. He had to build South Florida from where they were under Jim Levitt after Jim Levitt did that fuck shit with that player, but nevertheless, his bitch ass. Nevertheless,
Hmm.
nevertheless, Willie Taggart should have built his resume over there at South Florida, or simply like Corey will say, stay your black ass at Oregon. Oregon, he wouldn't have had as much pressure at Oregon as he did at Florida because he had access
True.
to Texas talent, he had access to California talent, and it would have had he stayed. I think he would be Oregon would be in the position that they are now, and probably a better position. He wanted the big dollars, and that fucked him off. So you should have stayed your black ass at Oregon. Should have stayed your black ass at Oregon, like Corey Wolf said.
Hmm.
And another thing too, I think the interim coach, if he wins versus Florida, I think he should get a job. He should get a coaching
Yeah,
job.
the players and the staff lobbying for him, man.
Yeah, because he's bringing that team together, unlike with Slick Willie
And Jimbo.
and Jimbo. Well, Jimbo got his cut off of Bobby Bowden. He got his plate off Bobby Bowden because he would have even with Jimbo being at LSU because he was a coach and waiting at LSU as well.
Yeah.
And had he took that job, he would have went into a gold mine as well. But he chose to go to Florida State, which wasn't a bad decision. He got a national title up out of it. Jimbo did a good job, but I think Jimbo felt the pressure from the fans after the Jameis Winston years came out, and he was like, "Shit, I'm going to go to Texas A&M." and get that Texas A&M money. And one thing about A&M,
Yeah, and I think he's doing a good. Even though they're not winning like respectively, I mean, I think he's doing a good job. You know.
and like I say, LSU, I'm gonna tell you LSU fans something. I know y'all undefeated. I just came from Louisiana, particularly New Orleans and Baton Rouge. I just came from Louisiana the last 3 days, which is why we ain't been able to do the show. And everybody talking about go Coach O, and with the GEUUX, go Coach Coach O. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Texas A&M and LSU is a rivalry. You know, even though LSU has dominated and they lost last year for the first time in a number since the 90s versus the A&M, because this rivalry goes all the way back to the 40s because they played every year in the 1940s, and then they played
Mm-hmm.
mostly every year in the 1990s, starting I want to say at 88, some shit like that. You know, but this is a rivalry game. You know, nevertheless, LSU probably lead the series. I don't have my Winsipedia on me right now, but you better understand this is a rivalry game. This is a rivalry game. The same thing that happened to Alabama can also happen to you. So y'all better take A&M
Yeah,
serious. Y'all gonna be LSU, and you're gonna end up getting
and I
Alabama.
think Jimbo figured him out off
So
that one game. I believe Jimbo done figured them out. You know.
yeah, so you better take LSU, you better take A&M seriously, because if you don't take them serious, you're gonna be up out of there. So handle your business. I know y'all guys excited, you know, but there's still a rivalry game, and rivalry games could go either way. Like I told the Alabama fans versus LSU, rivalry games go either way, and you better take them serious, because I'm gonna tell you now. You know, I'm not making a prediction. I expect them to go on, and I expect them to beat the shit out of them. I expect y'all to win. But if you come with that bullshit, it ain't gonna be so pretty. LSU lead the series 33-21. So that's pretty much a rivalry, a typical SEC rivalry. You know what I'm saying? Which the game, it goes back to 1899, A&M 52 to shit. Before they, and this is the era before they started, you know what I'm saying, having touchdowns count as 7 points. You know what I'm saying? So nevertheless, you better take these motherfuckers serious, or you're gonna be up out of there. And the game is gonna be in Baton Rouge. So LSU should win. They should win, but will they win would be the big question. Will they win?
Yeah.
So you better take these hoes serious, or you're gonna be up out of there. I'm telling y'all now. You talking about go Coach O? You better take these hoes serious. You better take them serious. So that's all I'm gonna say about that in particular.
Oh, no doubt. All right, man. You also said at the top of the program, because y'all, I know this is my show because I've been, like I said, I've been out of loop, whereas Jimmy been gone out, has been out of town for 3 days. Hey, I've been working my ass off, and then been getting up, been going to bed a little bit early and getting up a little earlier just to get to my job, you know. But got to do what you got to do. But as you all know, we talked about a death at FedEx, and there was more, and there was more to the story when we last talked about on episode 32. I mean 31. This is episode 32. Well, thanks to Jimmy's sources, let me steal a quote from Chris Broussard. From Jimmy's sources, um,
Mhm.
and his sources are legit. There's more to the story. So what did you find out, man?
Well, there's more to the story from what we understand, from what I was told. I'm gonna say what I was told, to not only protect this person's job, but for legal reasons. But the sources say that he was ran over by a AMJ uh, slash tug. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what they're saying around FedEx. You know what I'm saying? Because this person I fucks with tough. I don't want nobody come fucking with her. But you know, she said it on live stream with us. You know, we know who she is, but that's what they're saying. They're saying that the reality is he was ran over as opposed to being dragged by an AMJ, which is impossible for an AMJ to drag you. Because they said this is what Fox 13 or Flop 13. That's what I'm gonna call you hoes for telling this goddamn lie. Because you gotta make shit make sense. Flop
Mm-hmm.
13 came out and said a door was shut in on them and it dragged them before they found out he was dead. This is the exact source. Corey Wolf got in the sports chat. That's what Flop 13. They said the cause of death was he was dragged by an AMJ, which is impossible to do. Number one, ramp agents, managers, before AMJ drags, the door of the AMJ drags you, or any door drags you. The ramp agents, managers, I'm not speaking from a logistical position. I'm speaking from a logistical position. From the logic, and we're speaking. You're speaking to somebody that's been at FedEx for many years. Both of us have a combined 24 years at FedEx.
True.
You know, from a logical position, that shit don't make no fucking sense. Because number one, the ramp agents and the managers and the team leaders gonna make sure that nobody's in the way of the AMJ. So lie number one, that's a fucking lie. That's lie number one. Number two, the only way that AMJ would drag him if his shirt got caught into something. So it only makes sense that he got ran over by an AMJ. The door would not have dragged him because they have to shut. First of all, somebody has to shut the AMJ door first and make sure everybody's out of the way. Protocol for FedEx, every motherfucking body got to get out the way of that door. So if unless somebody murdered this nigga, the only way he would have got dragged by that door unless it was completely murdered. Third, they waited 5 days to come up with this USDA certified bullshit lie, which it don't make any other sense. And then they got the MPD instead of TBI and the feds coming in and investigating this particular. They got the MPD coming with this fucking lie.
Well, let me stop you there. You want to know why they? Want to know why they don't want the feds, the feds, the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation in there? Because they were gonna bust their ass. Because just like when because the feds and the TBI, they were in there with the Chandler Warren issue. They were investigating the shit and Fed blew them off. But continue.
Yeah, so logistically speaking, that the story based on a person that been there for many years, that bullshit ass USD certified ass story does not fucking make sense. And I'm glad my baby, and I'm gonna call her my baby for the sake of the conversation, came out and said that. Because from my understanding, I think she moved up in a management position, some shit like that. Because I know she upgraded right before I left FedEx. He was upgrading. So, and
Yeah, they did. Well, so we're gonna protect.
Yeah,
We're gonna protect. We are gonna protect and see. They were my baby before she was my baby before she was yours, Jimmy.
you a whole hoe for that. You a whole hoe for that. But anyway.
So, but for the sake of it, we're gonna protect this person. And no, it wasn't. And no, and we're gonna say it here. If somebody decide they want to play the outsmart role, let me see if we can outsmart Craig by who was talking about what. No, it wasn't who we were talking about in the comments. This is someone entirely different.
Yeah, and the thing is, with this person being connected to FedEx, it that person who said he got ran over by an AMJ ran over. You know, him being run over makes more sense than him being dragged by the door of an AMJ because protocol says otherwise. Now, if you said this in the 1980s, okay, it's believable because they didn't have nowhere near as many surveillance cameras in the 1980s as they did do now. They have a surveillance camera of every inch of that fucking property. Every fucking inch of that goddamn property. Every fucking inch of that property. You can't even take a shit at FedEx without them seeing you.
Hell no.
So
Oh,
they were probably
11:39.
too.
We had Jimmy on camera sitting there taking the shit.
Nevertheless, when we talk about shit like this, you got to make it make sense because they got every a camera on every inch of the property. The control room sees literally everything. The control room of FedEx literally sees everything you do. So they can't come up with this bullshit lie. And Johnny Cochran, the law firm of Johnny Cochran, which is one of the few law firms in Memphis that is not does not the FedEx don't have a retainer on. You know what I'm saying? The law firm of Johnny Cochran is doing an investigation, and if it goes to court, they're going to have to do, they're going to have to reveal a whole lot of shit. So they
Indeed.
can't really take the video footage out because that would be against the law, and then they would definitely be liable for that. So if they don't go ahead and settle for what they need to settle for, they're gonna be up out of there. Because if it goes to court, they're gonna get popped for hundreds of millions of dollars. They can get popped up to $100 million easily. But they so fucking cheap that they had to come up with some bullshit with a bullshit lie, bullshit cause of death. Because the cause of death was bullshit. The cause,
Mm-hmm.
the cause of death is complete bullshit. He got dragged by an AMJ door. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He more so got ran over. And it was probably because somebody was being reckless. It was probably because somebody wasn't checking behind the AMJ door, which makes more sense than him getting dragged by a fucking door. That wouldn't have made no goddamn sense. That wouldn't have made no
And
goddamn.
it really doesn't because I'm not buying a lot of shit that's coming out right now about the young man. And it's been what 2 weeks now since he died, right?
2 to 3 weeks, I think it is. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, but it's bullshit. When nobody's believing that, anybody that can work there, formerly worked there, they know it's bullshit. They know it's they full of shit. And the logistics just did not add up. The only way he would have been dragged if it was some plastic out there, and even that shit don't make sense. It wouldn't have made sense because somebody would have saw him and somebody would have grabbed him in time before he got killed. So that don't make any goddamn sense. So even if I try to throw all the possibilities out there, I can't lie good enough. I
Right.
can't lie good enough to come up with some bullshit like that.
And you
So
know,
go
and
ahead.
I've always said FedEx man has some motherfuckers that they be having folks out there that think that play politics so fucking much they'll do the Trump administration proud. And it's fucking truth. Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy and I combined 24 years as among us. Jimmy did 10. I did 14. We seen it all. We done it all. Have we played the political game? Yes, we did. But we didn't play the political game to hurt the other person. We played the political game to not only help us, but to help other people.
Mm-hmm.
Where politics played against us, oh, you damn right. There was a shitload of politics trying, slick politics, some politics being tried to play it on me, but and I'm gonna be honest here, and I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Some of the motherfuckers that was playing politics with me when I was there, they was stupid as hell. They was some stupid motherfuckers because half of them barely got a job.
Yeah.
There's some people I'm disappointed in, man. That some people I'm disappointed in right now. I'm glad for some of them that that have made management and stuff like that. But let's be real here. Y'all really don't need to be no manager. Y'all just looking at the manager for the money. But here's the real question: do you actually see your money as being a manager? I'm not gonna say my coworkers. I'm not gonna say my coworker's name, because of anatomy and along with legal reasons and job reasons. But he quit and he left, and he told me where he works at now. He sees his money where we work at now than he did as a manager,
Mm-hmm.
because he dealing with the trucks where he's at, and so I'm not saying his name.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, I'm proud of them. I'm proud of most of y'all, even though I don't like how some of y'all, several ones, um,
Mm-hmm.
how several ones have became managers and shit. You basically, instead of stepping on toes, you basically just took a sledgehammer and smashed toes to get to where you need to get. But that, Jimmy said it on here. You have a fucking gray hair before you turn 30 or before you get old. And really, you're not gonna see your money as a fucking manager. Why do you think most guys? Shout out to my guy David Snipes, by the way. Why do you think guys like him, like my guy David Snipes, who's been out there damn near 31, 31, who's been out there for 31 fucking years? And I'll say it again. He told an old manager back in the past by the name of Terrence Hansbrough,
Mm-hmm.
when when Hansborough had the nerve to tell David that he makes more money than him as a manager. And David politely told him, he's like, well, Terrence, he said, what you bring home in 2 weeks, I bring home plus some in a week.
Mm-hmm.
I was standing there when he said it. That's fact.
Yeah.
But I can't, it's just so much bullshit going on, man. And damn. The more I think about it, man, when you bring that back up, man, it just bring up bad memories. And to quote one of my old bosses at Centos. And when I was living in Huntsville, when I first started working at Centos back in 2017, they even heard about the shit. The higher ups, even working the office, heard about the shit. Well, I told them where I worked at. One of them was like, "Didn't the young man get murdered out there?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yep." He said, "What they do?" And the guy asked me, and the man, the supervisor asked me, said, "Well, what did they do about that?" I said, "Well, let's just say that they're doing what we doing right now. We talking. They work. You working. You working, and they talking." He's like, "That's fucked up." He said, "I see why you left, because that left a bad taste in him." Shit, you think
Mm-hmm.
Chandler Warren's murder basically just told me to say, "Man, fuck FedEx." I was about to quit FedEx that year because of that, but I quit the following year. But for that absurd bullshit, that was just something fed for Fox 13, who is known for talking about uh, uh, this is Fox 13 News Live. I'm Merle Purvis, and with breaking news about the death of the young man at FedEx. That's right, we have the coverage right here, but we will cover that story shortly later on today and later on in the broadcast, and then they'll report some other little Jilly Mo bullshit. And then, as we told you earlier, Fox 13 does have the latest information about the young man that was killed, that had died out at the FedEx World Hub. We did tell you that we were going to bring you that exclusive story later on today. Well, here it is later on today, and we decided that we're not going to bring it on right now because weather with we have the latest weather to talk about, with the latest storm front to talk about. So when they get through talking about the storm front, ladies and gentlemen, I'm basically talking about what how Fox 13 News is. And then they'll go into they'll break into a commercial. They'll talk about Live caught on camera. Jimmy JSmoove smacks the shit out of a hoe for trying to pickpocket his ass. We tried to question Jimmy, but Jimmy said no comment. Then they'll turn around and come back with, well, as Merle told you earlier today that Fox 13 was going to have the live exclusive details of the young man that died at FedEx. Well, as far as we know, or let alone as far as the bullshit story that we were told to tell you all, an AMJ had dragged the young man to his death. Now let's go back live to so and so with the latest traffic. That's how Fox 13 News covers with exclusive stories.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They full of shit, man. They full of shit and
But if anybody, Channel 5 will get the scoop for any damn body. And Janice Bros, boy, she be on FedEx's ass. And there have been a lot of deaths. There have been a lot of murders. The Chandler Warren murder for one. And I'm going, yeah, I'm gonna rub that shit. I'm gonna rub that shit like somebody scrubbing somebody's face. Like somebody scrubbing somebody's forehead on concrete. I'm gonna rub it in. Company, $1 billion company, let a low team get away with murder that young man. Then this bullshit here, which is also a possible murder. I remember 13 years ago, FedEx security found a young man dead out in the out in the parking lot. Not in the parking lot, but if when you get on Tullahoma across the street, you park across the street from the parking lot, see if you can't get a spot, right?
Mhm.
Jimmy. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you know the spot I'm talking about, right?
yeah.
Okay. They found a young man out there dead, apparent suicide.
Apparent fucking suicide.
And
All
that's what
those
it was. Yeah.
they let a dude kill himself in the parking lot.
Not in the parking lot. I'm talking about like when you go to
It's still
Winchester.
camera. I get what you're saying. It's still cameras there.
Yeah, but I ain't talking about in the parking lot. It's just like when you get to
You.
Winchester, Tullahoma, right? I
Hmm.
know with some cameras there. When you get to Winchester, Tullahoma, all
Hmm.
right. When that parking lot is sometimes full, people like to park their cars out in the damn front,
Yeah,
out in the front, out in the front. That's where they found the young. That's where they found the young man at.
that still don't make no sense.
It don't.
I'm gonna be honest with
It,
you. It
it,
still
that
don't make.
that was 13 years ago. So and
Yeah.
that story was swept under the rug. But also on a sad note from FedEx, James Perkins, one of the first African American executives from FedEx, had passed away yesterday.
Yeah. Shout out to
So
that.
shout out to the Perkins family, condolences, thoughts, and prayers to them. But I'm not buying. But it's a lot of things that I'm not fucking buying out of that job, man. Our former employer. And then
Mhm.
I had people that had the nerve to fucking tell me, man, you got to swallow your pride or whatever it is your hang up is why you don't work FedEx and just go back out and work there. First of
Mhm.
all, fuck you. I don't want to work for no job. I gave them 14 years. That's enough. Won't you go out there and work for them? Don't fucking tell somebody like me. Nobody with the exception of some family members, nobody tells Craig Smith what the fuck to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
What look like telling Jimmy Wright, man, hey Jimmy, you need to shut your bald head ass up and just suck in your gut, swallow your pride, and go back and work for that fiberglass place where you was at in Houston, man. Shut that shit up. The fuck I look like telling Jimmy some shit like that for? What the fuck Jimmy look like telling me some of those shit like that for?
Yeah. I agree because they with the bullshit. I'm gonna be honest with you, and
And as my
it's a
mom
good thing
called that
that
job, it ain't nothing but a plantation.
I agree. It ain't
Yes,
nothing
and
but a
boss.
goddamn plantation and a bunch of tap dancing coons out there.
That's that's the same thing what she said, bro.
Bunch
Bunch
of
of
tap.
jumping. Yes, and boss. She didn't say tap dance coon. She said so many words. A bunch of yes, and bosses, and a bunch of tappers out there.
Oh man, I seen many. I seen many of
Ooh,
them. I've seen many of them out there. It's ridiculous out there, man. So
man, it's beyond ridiculous. Man, all right, man. We got some fan questions here. One is coming from, let me pull it up right quick. Um, because a good thing I got, yeah, I'm operating on laptop of my podcast and
Mhm.
on my phone. And on my phone with the let me pull my email up. Internet taking long. The fuck?
Yeah,
Give me a second. Internet acting retarded.
yeah,
Okay. All right. Um, this question comes from. Let's see. Get it. Let me get it. Damn. Boy, Gmail take a long motherfucking time to buffer. This question comes from Mike out of the DC area. And he wants to know, will Lamar Jackson on pace of becoming the first quarterback to pass for over 3,000 yards and rush for over 1,000? Do you think next season he'll be able to do it again? And
yeah.
also, do you think he has a shot at winning the MVP this year? Thanks for taking time to answer my question.
He's clear right now. He's clear cut MVP hands down because they've scored 40 plus points and they scored at least 37 points the last 4 games and 40 plus points the last 3 games and have scored 40 plus points 5 times. And the last time that I checked, New England, the super flop New England Patriots that lost to the Giants the first time was the only team that scored that many points in the course of a season as the Baltimore Ravens. So yeah, I see he's got the MVP race on lock. Unless uh, Russell Wilson starts stepping up his statistical numbers, Lamar Jackson got the MVP hands down.
No doubt. But see, and you also got to forget. Then let's not fail to forget to mention Baltimore's offensive coordinator was the same coordinator for Colin Kaepernick as San Fran, Greg Roman.
Yeah. Yep.
So I think, yeah, he can do it. But if I were Greg Roman, I'd change the scheme up a little bit so NFL teams wouldn't be able to study him. Because Jimmy, you brought up some good points, man, especially with the ass whooping they put to the Rams at the Rams on home stadium.
Yeah, and they beaten top tier teams at their house. They didn't, and I think they played San Francisco. I don't know when. Uh,
Yeah, they play San Fran next. And
okay,
I
so it's gonna be interesting.
and I ain't studying you, McWright, because Green Bay, yeah, I didn't see that ass whooping coming. And it's all Aaron Rodgers' fault if he had to learn just to fucking pass the goddamn ball and his receivers were able to catch it, and let alone if Aaron Jones was able to run the damn ball, that bullshit Sunday wouldn't have happened. Now let's get back to Lamar.
Well, they still held the L, so hold it very well and very swell.
But that's a good loss. But hey, that was not just a badass loss, but that was a damn bad good loss. That was a good loss to me.
Yeah, just
I'd rather lose 37-8 to the Crisco Niners, who I like, but I had to throw that in there, Murph. Shout out to Trey Murphy. I'd rather lose 37-8 to them than to lose 37-8 to somebody like
yeah,
Denver.
yeah, yeah. But
So
nevertheless, definitely, unless Russell Wilson do something, he's definitely the MVP. Definitely, because
no doubt.
that's the closest dude to him. In terms of the MVP race, and I don't think he's gonna remotely catch that kid. So, what's the next fan question?
Well, I had something to add on to it, man. I think Lamar is the clear cut winner. Now, the only thing I have to say is maybe it's because of precaution reasons, for safety reasons. Slide, Lamar, slide.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
You know, so you won't end up like your backup. You know,
Yeah, and I
but
think I think
and I
RG3 need to mentor him as well on that as well. And with that, the good thing is Michael Vick mentored him in the off season on his mechanics of the throws and stuff like that. So shout out to Mike Vick on mentoring the kid because
yeah
he sees a lot. He says he's not as fast as Mike. Mike say he's not as fast as he was because Mike Vick was coming out of college running 4.2s and a 40 as a
yeah
quarterback. That was virtually unheard of. But he had his shake and bake moves was better than his. He said that's where Lamar has the advantage over him is his shake and bakes. He's hard to tackle, you know.
yeah.
But you definitely don't want to end up as a Steve McNair with a fucked up body in the process. He needs to learn how to run out of bounds and take notes from Russell Wilson because
I don't
Russell.
think Steve McNair was in shape, bro.
Well,
Cause
he did a
he
lot,
had got progressively, or he had got overweight through the years.
and
Cause
then
he
he.
at Alcorn State, that man used to take off running.
Oh yeah, and not only that, he did a lot of drinking during the off season. That was another issue that Steve McNair had real bad is he had a drinking issue and that played a factor in his weight problems and stuff like that. So I miss Steve McNair because he mentored him and Warren Moon mentored so many kids. Even though Warren Moon says some questionable things. One thing
Yeah,
I will say that Warren Moon got right is he does all the black quarterbacks. He does try everything in his power to mentor them, not only on the field but off the field and how to carry themselves. So I'll give him a pass. You know what I'm saying, to a certain degree, as long as he don't tap, that tap don't get too goddamn loud. I love you, Warren. And my homeboy Mike, he had the opportunity to meet him, but don't get too far with the tap shoes. But nevertheless, he does a great job of mentoring those black quarterbacks. Same thing with Michael Vick, and he's did some questionable things too. So, but don't let that tap get too loud now, Mike. I'm gonna tell you that too, just like I told Warren Moon. That tap was just a little too loud. So stop all the shuffling now. But nevertheless, Greg Warman and Harbaugh needs to tell him like, look, we want to have you on the long term. We know you're 22 years old and we can't tell you too much, but you need to slide. You need to run out of bounds. And they invested in Lamar Jackson because Lamar, they got rid of Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco had a $120 million contract. So, even though I don't watch the NFL like that, I will stop by and watch Lamar Jackson. Even though I don't like the fucking Ravens. Let's just be clear. Even when I was watching football, I didn't like the fucking Ravens. I respected
I,
the Ravens.
I like their colors though.
Yeah, the colors.
They got some of the baddest ass colors. But tell you something, they got some of the baddest ass colors in the NFL right now, purple and black and gold. I
And, and,
like that shit.
and I won a bet against my boy at work against the Baltimore Ravens. I was like, hey, the Baltimore Ravens is a rivalry game for the New England Patriots, and Lamar Jackson gonna beat y'all. And I told him, I'm like, and I won the bet, so I got another bet going with the boy this week. But I ain't gonna tell you who I'm betting against him. But when it happens, I'll reveal it when it happens, if it happens. But nevertheless, Lamar Jackson right now, barring any kind of injury, he's definitely the MVP.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. All right. The next question comes from Aaron. He didn't give his location of where he is. He wants to know from both of us. He said, "Hello, guys. Listen to both shows as much as I can. What I want to know is what has been the biggest misconception about both of you all, about both of you."
Man, that's a good question.
Mm, that is. I'll let you. Well, let Jimmy think on his. I've been told that I'm lazy and I don't apply myself to a lot of stuff. which is a misconception that a lot of people from ranging from some associates from that plantation house where Jimmy and I used to work at to people to people like some of my pops' friends who dad associated women has still believe to this day, dumbasses. But no, I'm far from lazy. Now, if I want to be lazy, it's pretty cold outside and if it's gray, and if I want to sit up in the house, be on my laptop or draw, or watch football, basketball, and just chill out in a warm house, that's my definition of lazy. But as far as lazy in the workhouse, that's where you have me fucked up at, because my co-host here will tell you. You call me lazy in front of his face, he'll have you gargling your fucking teeth. That's fact.
Yeah.
Uh, as far as, and then also saying about as me as applying myself, well, I feel people are mainly talking about themselves in that regard, because if I never applied myself, um, I wouldn't have graduated college. I wouldn't have took a stab at graduating college when I moved to Huntsville, Alabama 4 years ago. And it's bad that you got to move out of your own. You have to move away from somewhere to get a goal accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really a big misconception about me. And then some people think that I'm gonna say it. Some people think that I'm fucking bipolar. Yeah, and because they say I be. Sometimes they'll catch me talking to myself and everything stuff like that. That's what it's called, thinking aloud. I said, as long as I don't answer myself, that's when you can't call somebody bipolar crazy. And some motherfuckers and some of these motherfuckers today, I'm just calling for what they are. Don't know what the fuck bipolar can't tell you what the definition of bipolar really means.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And
So
there's
that's like a big misconception of me, because they say I'm bipolar, I'm narcissistic. I'm far from narcissistic, because a narcissist manipulates. A narcissist does a lot of evil shit. A narcissist only cares about one person, they self. You want narcissists, go out to FedEx. Them are some narcissistic ass people out there. Yo, man, everybody like, Craig, you throwing shots at FedEx. You damn fucking right I am.
exactly.
I got a reason to. You gonna feed fucking Fox 13 News that fucking lie.
Yeah.
Fuck y'all. So that's been the big. Those are several of the big misconceptions about me. What about you, Jimmy?
Oh man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one because it's many misconceptions.
But
Uh,
you can point out one.
it's hard to say because yeah, I'm an unpredictable person. That's one thing about me. I'm not predictable. People point out misconceptions, but it's just not on. You know, so that's a tough one. That's definitely a tough one on me because it's a lot of misconceptions about me. It's too many to name in particular. You know, but whatever your conception of me, get to know me first. That's the best way I can tell you.
Yeah, that's my motto too. Before you judge, you might want to get to know me before going by getting to know me through hearsay. Get to know me for yourself.
But I'll say this one misconception about me is people think I'm soft,
Hmm.
which is nothing further from the truth. Because I will shock the hell out you when it comes to thinking I'm soft. So that is a clear cut misconception. People think they can manipulate me. People think I'm an easy target to manipulate, and that's not true at all. If it's one misconception that I can say, it's probably people think I'm an easy target, but I'm far from that easy target. So tread carefully because once I cut your bitch ass off, you're gonna be out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is.
Yeah, and that's another that's as far as with me go. And I don't want folks to say, "Oh, well, Craig saying he this and that," because Jimmy saying it. No, my well, I'm gonna call it for what it is. The damn fool to live with his mama in Huntsville, my ex-wife's son. He thought I was soft, but he later admitted in the conversation he and I had, he knew that he knew that I could whoop his ass. You damn right I could.
Mm-hmm.
Cause see, he was finally man, like that. I'm gonna spill it. He was finally man enough to admit that he was out of bounds for for saying some things like call my mom's out her name for one, which he had no fucking business doing. Um, well, I am gonna say yeah. When I spit in his face, yeah, he did deserve that. You know,
Every ounce of it.
he did deserve that because I told him I said that spit represented what I really thought of you, what I think of you as a man,
Yeah.
and still to this day. I don't know what he's doing now. I really don't care, but I hope he ain't right. Hope he ain't got his head up his mama's ass and smelling it. But but he admitted in the conversation that when we last talked, and this was this November,
Yeah.
6 months ago, I think between 5 or 6 months ago, 7 months ago, 6 7 months ago, when I last talked to him, he
Mm-hmm.
finally manned up and admit that my ass at the time when it was see in 2018 I was 39 years well I was 40 years old. He admitted to me that he knew that my 40-year-old ass would have kicked his ass. Yeah, I would have kicked his ass and I would have made him submit because I do know how to do the Kimura lock. I got ways I can catch your ass in that shit.
Oh yeah.
But the way I was gonna do that Kimura lock, I was gonna put a little, put a little extra sauce to it, a little extra twang to it, a little extra spice to it. When I got done with him,
Oh yeah, man. And
but he would have been fucked up when he called me a soft ass old nigga. And and I told him, I said, man, if anybody's soft, it's your dad, because he laying around every woman he lay around with, he getting pregnant. You got brothers and sisters in your ass don't even know about the living in Huntsville.
yeah,
You know,
and probably fucking one of them and not knowing he fucking one of them. So
oh damn, don't say that shit.
yeah, shit, it happens. It happens. Trust me, it happens. I'm gonna just put it to you like that. I'll tell
Yeah,
you.
I can believe it.
I can tell. I'm gonna
I
tell
can believe, it, but but with in his case, I don't know, but I've had heard stories about people that'll date, brothers and sisters and don't even fucking know it.
you. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I've had. I'm not saying he does that, but we've heard stories in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not. So I'm saying here, I'm not. Hey, I'm not a soft dude myself. Because I mean, everybody say, well, your dad told us, okay, first of all, Pops, I said, how long ago would be like, okay, well, how long ago that Pops told you? Maybe what he didn't tell you was in his prime, he knew I could kick his ass. So even sick or no sick, and rest his soul and everything, and my father, he got off the cuff with me for no reason. I said, Pops, I said, I don't mean no harm, man. Sick or no, I said, in your prime, you know I can kick your ass without holding back. I said, and even past your prime, if you even he had nerve tell his friend Ronnie to basically like giving him permission to put his hands on me. And I told him, I said, man, if you ever tell one of your nigga friends, tell one of your sucker ass friends, or get him permission to put their hands on me, when I get through kicking their ass, hey, you got a receipt come from me, sick or no sick. You don't tell no other get no other person permission to put their hands on me. The fuck?
Yeah, because you never know what's going to happen. That's one thing I've learned in the 15, 16 years I've taken up martial arts. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. So I don't let nobody, male or female, a little kid, if he under 10 years old, I might take a little slaps here and there, just for shits and giggles. But if you pass the age of 10 and you put your hands on me, you might get something that you might not want, because your grown man strength starts to precede you around your adolescent years.
Mm-hmm.
A 10-year-old, you notice when you play with your little nieces and nephews, they be doing these little shit like, bitch, you can't hurt me, ho. But then when they get
Mm-hmm.
grown and start hitting that grown man strength, or that the beginning of their grown man strength, like, hey, you better watch it. You playing too goddamn much. You playing too
Yeah.
goddamn much. I don't mind playing with you, but that shit is a little hard now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every dad that then raised their kid know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, be aware. Be aware. And I would have never told nobody to do them like that, unless they were gonna body slam up a shit like that. That's a little different. You know what I'm saying? And that could be dangerous in itself. But now that I know what I know about the martial arts and fighting, I would never tell nobody to come beat one of my family members' ass, because it's too many
No,
shit.
I ain't no, because that ain't right, man. Cause like I had to tell I had to tell one of Pops' friends, man, a guy by the name of Jeremiah. He called
Yeah.
himself talking all that shit to me, man. I'm like, let me tell you something. And I said, you got two children, right? Why?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember this back 2014. He was like, nigga, why you want to know about my kids? That's because when I get through whooping your ass and call the police, and they find out your ass convicted felon, you might not see him for a while. I said, I'm one dude you don't want to fuck with, mentally or physically, especially in the mental game.
Yeah.
I got you and Pops beat. I said, I got you and your boy Pops beat on that shit. Why your dad got beat my boy? I said, because, hey, you hang around like he one of your boys.
Yeah.
So again, hey, when I'm not soft when in the mental or the physical department. I will fuck somebody up.
Yeah.
And I warned him. He'll tell me, so you threatening me? I said, well, Jeremiah, if you willing to take that chance and put your hands on me and you find out what happened, be my guest.
Yeah, because I'm only 5'7", and I've gotten to fighting with motherfuckers 6'8", and put them down, fuck them off. So it ain't the size of the dog in the fight. You know what I'm saying? It's the size of the fight in the dog. So you better be careful fucking with me, or fucking with my boy here online. Because one thing about
Mm-hmm.
me, I know some shit to put you down, and I don't gotta hit you hard like Deontay Wilder did Luis Ortiz. Shout out to Deontay Wilder for getting that beautiful knockout. He was down five rounds, at least 5 rounds, and just knock him out. You know what I'm saying? I can just barely tap you and fucking knock you the fuck out, just like Deontay Wilder. So, you can try me if you want to, but I suggest you probably want to try crack before you try me, like Project Pat said in the 90s.
Yep, no doubt. So those are some conceptions and misconceptions that we have
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that we've shared. So, but um other than that, man, you got anything, dude?
Oh man, again, like I say, man, did you see that fight? Speaking of Deontay Wilder, did you see that fight for Saturday night?
Man, hey, I haven't had a chance to see nothing, man, because when I was mainly in the house most of the day.
Yeah, man.
But I would, if I did, like, if I did had the funds set aside, because my mother there right now struggling, If I had the funds set aside, hey, I would have went somewhere. I would have went somewhere and watched.
Yeah, because the fight was showing at Hooters. Because Corey Wolf told me he went to Hooters to watch the fight. And Deontay Wilder, I ain't gonna lie, that little Cuban, Luis Ortiz was whooping the shit out of Wilder. And next thing you know, the same shit happened in the first fight, happened in the second fight. Ortiz was whooping up on him. He got a knockdown in the fifth round and ended up getting stopped in the 10th round. But this time, he basically dropped 5 of the 7 rounds, and he was losing this round. But he stayed tactical and just knocked him the fuck out. And as the time expired, the dude didn't want to get up after he hit that boy. And let me tell you something. This dude is pretty much the same size as Mike Tyson. Because Mike Tyson, he was muscular, but he was still small heavyweight. Because Mike Tyson only weighed at worst case scenario. We're talking about the prime Mike Tyson. We're not talking about the Mike Tyson that gained a whole bunch of weight in balloon. That's different. But right. Mike Tyson in his prime was only 5'9", 215, 220 pounds. But he had a lot of muscle at worst case scenario. And he was knocking out dudes 15, 20 pounds, 50 pounds bigger than him. Getting body shots and shit like that to the body against these guys. Deontay Wilder is just a taller, leaner version of Mike Tyson. And a lot of people have been getting on Deontay Wilder saying he hit harder than Mike Tyson. Well, I'm going to tell you this now. Looking as a boxing expert, Deontay Wilder is probably up there as far as the hardest hitting punchers in history. I know a lot of people love Mike Tyson. I like Mike Tyson. Nigga, I cried when Mike Tyson got knocked out by Buster Douglas. All right, man.
I watched that, man. Me and I remember Pops and I, we were in Chicago, man. We watched that fight on Showtime.
And everybody in the world was mad. Every black person.
I was like, what? We were like, whoa, what the hell?
It was either people mad or it was people sad. And I was a kid.
We was shocked.
I was only like 5 years old, and my dad had to tell me he's still alive. We thought Mike Tyson died in that ring after Buster Douglas knocked that nigga out. But nevertheless, if you want to talk boxing, Deontay Wilder, if he ain't number 1, he's no less than number 5 biggest punchers. Because anytime you can knock a dude that out precise, who outweighs you by 15, 20, 30 pounds like that, I mean, that says a lot, because one would argue Ernie Shavers is the hardest hitting puncher in boxing history. One would say Big George Foreman. Some would say Rocky Marciano. Some would say Mike Tyson. Hell, you could throw Lennox Lewis in there, because Lennox Lewis' right hand was a whole hoe. You got hit with Lennox Lewis. People don't give Lennox Lewis his respect in terms of that right hand, but that right hand of Lennox, you got caught clean enough, man, you out of there. So Deontay Wilder is up there. And not just that, Deontay has knocked out or knocked down all 42, I'll say 41 opponents. All 41 opponents have either saw the canvas or got knocked the fuck out. So that could be argued. And then he comes from the same state as Ernie Shavers. Ernie Shavers is originally from Alabama. He ended up moving to, I want to say, Cincinnati or Cleveland, Ohio. So, he got that country boy strength that, them country boys, if they hit you one time, you out of there. So that could be argued. I mean, guys who like Mike Tyson, which I was a Mike Tyson fan, you ain't got to put extras, even though people have their opinion, because it could be argued either way, because Mike Tyson was knocking you the fuck out. Ernie Shavers was knocking people the fuck out, or at least give you a concussion punch. George Foreman, if you got caught cleanly with that country boy Fifth Ward strength, you got knocked the fuck out. Deontay Wilder could go either way.
Hell yeah. Ask Michael Moore about when George Foreman knocked that man out.
Yeah, because George Foreman set that punch up beautifully. Because Michael Moore was leading the fight, won every round, and was going to win the 10th round. But, George Foreman, strategically set that hole up and knocked him the fuck out. And, Michael Moore, he said, I wanted to get up, but I know if he hit me again, I'm finna die. So he's like, I'm going to sit my ass down on there, And Michael Moore, and one of the reasons why Michael Moore lost that fight because he stood right in front of George Foreman. He stood right in front of him, and Teddy Atlas was telling him, get the fuck out the way, because if he hits you, your ass is going to be up out of there. And Michael Moore would just kept the Scorpio that he is, was keep on being an arrogant ass, just like LeVar Ball, arrogant ass. You know what I'm saying? You know, both of them have good points, but just like the Scorpio he was being hard-headed. Teddy Atlas like, hey, get out the way of it. He was saying, move to your left. He said, move to your right, and you're going to be out of the way of it. He moved right in front of the right hand of George Foreman. He moved right in front of the left hand of George Foreman, and he got hit with that right hand of George Foreman, and he got knocked the fuck out. He should have listened to him. That's the reason why Moore lost that fight. And from that point on, Moore career decline. And I still think Michael Moore should have been in the Hall of Fame because he
was that man. I mean, when he won the belt, man, he had that nice little run, man. He wasn't putting up no Tyson like knockouts, but he was fucking motherfuckers up. So
yeah, and Michael Moore was like a light heavyweight, and he moved to the to the heavyweight division. So he won a championship in 2 divisions, and he's a 3-time heavyweight champion. So I think I think the Boxing Hall of Fame should have him in the Hall of Fame. But nevertheless, shout out to Deontay Wilder for like setting up that knockout. Hopefully the Tyson Fury fight comes to fruition. If not, he need to go and fight for the undisputed heavyweight championship and do his thing. But nevertheless, shout out to Deontay Wilder, and shout out to Luis Ortiz for making a fight of it. I mean, because he made a fight. It wouldn't have been as good of a fight if it wasn't for Luis Ortiz. So nevertheless, man, I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else?
Well, since you talked about Mike Tyson and Mike Moore, found this on my Quora feed. So this question is for you. Who wins between a prime Mike Tyson and a prime Michael Moore?
Tyson would have knocked Michael Moore the fuck out.
No doubt.
First of all, he was too small. And number 2, even if he could, quote unquote, outbox Tyson, ultimately Mike Tyson knows how to cut off the ring. So he would have lost easily. Against a big puncher like Lennox Lewis, because believe it or not, Lennox Lewis was supposed to fight Michael Moore because they were going to reunify the heavyweight division. And that was, they were going to reunify the heavyweight division. And George Foreman, believe it or not, he ducked a prime Lennox Lewis. People.
Yeah, I believe that.
People forget about that because that's why Lennox Lewis sued the WBC, and the WBC stripped George Foreman of the title, the WBC title, and he only held the IBF title, and he was still holding the lineal heavyweight title because we got to take in consideration the lineage of the heavyweight title started all the way back with Floyd Patterson because Rocky Marciano retired to avoid Floyd Patterson. They strategically moved Floyd Patterson out of the way to avoid Rocky Marciano. This is an indisputable fact because you got a lot of Rocky Marciano lovers that be like, well, he didn't duck him. Yes, he did. Even because D'Amato came out and said he strategically put Floyd Patterson in position so Marciano can retire undefeated. But nevertheless, the line come all the way to Floyd Patterson. Had Ali stayed retired, the new line would have been straight up to Larry Holmes. But since Larry Holmes beat a old Muhammad Ali, the line was still. That's what you mean by lineal title. Once the titles become unified, you know what I'm saying? He's the man to beat in the division. So at the time, the line was still there. The line of champions was still there. So even though George Foreman ducked Lennox Lewis, the line wasn't broken until Shannon Briggs ended up beating Foreman, and Lennox Lewis ended up knocking out Shannon Briggs. So, and then when Lennox Lewis retired, the lineage of that title ended right there. So, but nevertheless, man, Michael Moore would have gotten his ass knocked the fuck out by any big puncher. Just like he did against Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield knocked him the fuck out, knocked him down 5 times in the second fight, and made him quit in the corner. So he would have got knocked the fuck out. But nevertheless, he still should be in the Hall of Fame. I'll say that.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. But other than that, no, I don't have nothing. But yeah, we do. We're gonna promote some future shows before the Christmas holiday season, because like we did the last one, Jimmy J and I are gonna preview possible. Gonna preview bowl game matchups for the 2019 season. We're also gonna and it's something new. We're also gonna do our most surprising play. Well, there's a whole bunch of players out there, but we're gonna do it anyway. Our best and the worst, as far as the best players we've seen, the worst players we've seen, the best teams we've seen, and the worst teams we've seen, best coaches we've seen, worst coaches we've seen, and most surprising team and the most disappointing team in college football, and what could we possibly expect possibly next season. Now with these jobs opening up, because now the biggest question right now is, Clay Helton and USC. I was gonna say this. I think Clay Helton is gonna stay. It's not his fact. It's not his fault that even though when he tried to regain the locker room, uh, he just got some players that just don't want to fucking play for him. I mean, he got Michael Pittman Jr., Michael Pittman Sr., Michael Pittman's son playing for him. You know, it's not Clay Helton, it's the players. So we can't fault Clay Helton because of that. I think USC should stick with him, because who you gonna get? Who you gonna get? You gonna get Slick Willie? You know, but and I'm gonna say right now, I'm just gonna spoil it right now. My disappointing team is down there in Tempe, Arizona. Herm Edwards in Arizona State. They should fucking know better, because no. You have no fuck. You have to start off 5-1. You have no fucking business losing four straight, and your fourth straight loss came to Oregon State.
I agree.
Herm Edwards should fucking know better. And then Kevin Mawai, who's on his offensive coaching staff, who's on his coaching staff, who's an offensive line coach and an offensive analyst, he should know better too. Because ain't no way in the world I'm gonna let my best running back run 40 times for only 131 yards, man. Your offensive line is fucking weak, and then you got a true freshman that's 17 years old that's starting at right tackle. I think you got to put your experienced players on. Arizona State got the fucking weapons, but it just makes me sick. And I'm saying it just makes me sick that this is a very pissy poor coach team. And I mean, yeah, we gave Herm Edwards props in his first year. He made the bowl game his first year. Ain't no fucking way in the world you have no business being 5-5 heading into a game at Oregon. The worst case scenario, he should have been 6-4, not no fucking 5-5. You fucking lose to Oregon State. That just pisses me off. And Oregon State is at the bottom of the conference. How the fuck can you lose to them?
Lose to Oregon. I call them Oregon State.
Damn. I can understand if you lose to Oregon. That's a good loss. But Oregon State before the Oregon game? Come on now. And then they had USC beat. They just gave that game up.
Most definitely.
So, right, I got more disappointing teams, but, as of right now, my disappointing team and coach is Herm Edwards in Arizona State. I mean, I give it to the fact Herm learning. But one thing I can't give Arizona State, they run a hellified 3-5 defense, though. I mean, but offensively, they got the weapons. They need to put up more points. They put up the yards, but they ain't putting up enough points.
I'll say my most disappointing team is, it's a tie. Tennessee and Houston. Because Houston should be better than what they are. I understand they had circumstances with De'Aaron
King.
But still, you lost to Tulane University. Not Tulane, but Tulane University. So that's no excuse. They should be way better than what they is. And then Fertitta went and broke the bank for Holgerson to come in. So I think he's gonna be there for the long haul. But they're disappointing because Houston should be better than that. They should be way better than that under Holmgren, and it's no excuse for Dana Holmgren or right now Hoganson. Right now
Mm-hmm.
because he's playing like a hoe right now. Nevertheless, another disappointing team with Tennessee, with them being tied, they should have a better record than what they have.
Yeah, and we ain't gonna we discussed them plenty of times.
So there's no excuse for them to be uh, the Vols. But nevertheless, with them being those guys being what they are, they could possibly make a bowl game. From my understanding, if they end up 6-6 or 7-5, with them pissing the bed at Georgia State, if they can make a bowl game, I think my boy Jeremy Blewett can buy himself some time. He done bought himself some extra time. If he can come out these next 2 years and with a winning record, or even a better record than what they have, they could make some noise, man. But Jeremy Pruitt can't be Jeremy Blewett, because if Jeremy Pruitt becomes Jeremy Blewett, then he gonna blew it. So nevertheless, those are the two most disappointing teams, with the Cougs house being 4-7, and the Tennessee Vols struggling to make a fucking bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they may mess around and get into a bowl game anyway with a 6-6 record, if they can beat Vanderbilt, they'll be in the bowl game easily. So they're gonna have to, make sure they have a 7-5 record to assure themselves a bowl game in the position. And they had a little winning streak going. They have like a 4-game winning streak since the UT Vols, and they can make it a 5-game winning streak and make something of this season for what it is. So nevertheless, hopefully the Vols going to get into a bowl game, get this 7-5 record, so the leverage of them having a bowl game becomes greater for them. So those are my two disappointing teams.
Yep. So I mean, now we got more. So because that's gonna be coming up in the other show, and then as everyone knows, when it's time for the playoffs, we're gonna give our take of who win the playoffs like we did the last time, and then we'll also give our take of who win the granddaddy of them all. So, but other than that, since the co-host Jimmy McBride doesn't have everything, once again, this is Craig Smith II with another episode of Let's Draw on Something in the books. So until then, you all have a safe holiday season. If you're traveling, be careful on that road. Um, to anybody, and everybody that unfortunately they have to work a whole day or whatnot on Turkey Day. Hey, still enjoy your holiday. Just be thankful you got a job. Just be thankful that that you're here to be able to provide, to be able to do something for your family, and not only just for your family. If you don't have a family, be able to provide for yourself on some things. So, and if you're a single guy, you don't have anybody, you don't have your parents, any family in the city, hey, Buffalo Wild Wings will be open, Hooters will be open, fucking IHOP will be open, O'Charlie's will be open, Chili's will be open, Fox and Hound will be open. And if you're in the Houston area, many different restaurants in the Houston area where Jimmy's at gonna be open. Hey, have your own Thanksgiving. So, do that. But hope everybody have a thankful holiday, pretty good Turkey Day, and also don't act a fool when it come Black Friday, because guess what? It's gonna be pouring down raining here. So anybody living in the South Haven, Memphis area, stay your ass at home. Y'all don't need to be out. Y'all do not need to be out trying to clothesline somebody to get a freaking TV and shit that you're gonna take back the next fucking day because you need that money for rent.
Ah, you a
Yeah,
hoe.
I said it.
You a hoe for that one.
Shit.
You said you're gonna take back the next day because you're gonna need rent money. Hell no, you a hoe for that one.
Oh no, but that's the truth though. That's the truth.
Yeah. All right, man.
That's the damn truth. So if you plan on Black Friday shopping, don't be clothesline no damn body in Walmart and Best Buy to get the 60-inch TV and shit. And then you sitting there looking at that TV and I'm talking about some, damn, I fuck around and got this TV, man. I gotta pay my motherfucking rent, man. Let me take this motherfucker back or take it to a pawn shop, see how much I can get so I can pay my goddamn rent.
You're gonna do the Jim Duggan clothesline. You're gonna do
Now the JBL clothesline from hell.
the Lex Luger running forearm.
Uh-huh. Oh! That's how he sounded. Oh!
Oh man, that's crazy.
So don't and so if you look, plan on being smart for Black Friday. If you can't afford it, don't buy it.
And here's an advice to everybody. Number one, before you shop on Black Friday, you should consider getting all your Christmas gifts early, like around the summertime, October, right before that November hits. That's one thing for future references because it's too late now. But you should consider getting your quote unquote Christmas gifts, holiday gifts out, whatever you celebrate. You should get them things early. Number two, you should consider shopping online because you get a better bargain. You got Black Friday, and if you miss out on Black Friday, you got Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday is a lot more efficient than Black Friday. You having to do the WCW running forearm, the WCW clotheslines. So
Oh!
so you before you do the Hulk Hogan leg drop or the Randy Savage elbow drop, rest in peace to Randy Savage, snap it to a Slim Jim, ooh yeah, or the Psycho Sid powerbomb on somebody in Black Friday. I'm the ruler of the world. Before you do all that, shop around before you have to wait in that long ass line like a damn fool and shopping in Black Friday. You know what I'm saying? So there's ways you can get better deals online and get better deals shopping early than you would pretty much, pretty much being with the fuck shit on Black Friday. So please consider that. As far as Cyber Monday, consider doing that more than you would, waiting in that long ass line and being cold as hell and on Black Friday. So that's my take on that.
No doubt. So with that being said, and like I said again, y'all plan on being smart on Black Friday for real talk. You know, or let alone. Oh, by the way, Jimmy, you probably know. Shout out to my girl, one of Oak Haven's finest, Miss Erica Brooks, because hey, did I ever tell you that short Negro tombstone me, man?
Oh hell no.
Yes.
Hell no. The tombstone.
No, choke slam my ass. She 5 foot. She 5 foot. I ain't. She was staying on Winchester at the time. Me and her, we were talking. Tell this funny story. So, I had a partner of mine when I used to get off of UPS, and I would call her, make sure she was all right, whatever. I said, "Well, hey, you want to bring something back to eat or whatever?" She like, "You ain't going to Burger King?" Is no. She said, "Well, only thing I just want bring me 2 Cokes. That's when 20-ounce Cokes were cheap back then. So
Yep.
bring me a Coke, bring me 2 Cokes, and I forgot when the bag of potato chips she liked. And she like I forgot what it was. I don't know if Erica still like if she was a Flaming Hot fan or what. So brung it over there, and and me and her we was just talking stuff, talking shit, right?
Right.
Now here my ass is 23 years old. I was 21, 6'2". And Erica with that cock strong majorette Oak Haven High majorette strength at 5'4", You know when Undertaker do that little sound, he grab that throat, he go like that, bruh. When she did that something, oh, what? Go what you doing? Wait a minute, boom. she, man, it was so funny though, man. But no, she choke slammed me on the floor. It was something that on the on that hard ass floor, carpet floor. It was something that was there. I think it was like it was like a mattress or something. Man, she choke slammed my ass on that thing. They getting ready to throw a mattress out. She choke slammed my ass on that damn mattress, and I bounced off and shit. And then I looked at her like, "What the fuck?" And then she went outside and told my partner Marcus. Said, "Marcus, you better get your friend." He's like, "Craig, what she do?" I said, "Little nigga choke slamming." She choke slammed my ass, man. She like, he like, little. I said, "Yeah, little Erica." Said, "What you say?" I told her, I said, "Hello." I said, "Her militant midget ass wasn't gonna do nothing." I said, "That's what did it." Man, she and that, hey, that, hey, bro, but hey, but she cool people though, man. Hey, that's why I be messing with her. When I said, so I put an Undertaker, a gift for the Undertaker. When Undertaker get that little mean look, and he buck his eyes out. Then I said the look. I said the look you have when one of your son, when your son gets smart with you.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, man.
Yep. So yeah, that's my old road. Shout out to Oak Haven's finest. I call her. I ain't gonna call it the little Undertaker, if you will. So she choke slammed the shit out my ass that night. I got
Yeah.
And then I told Moms about it. Moms was like, "Good."
Yeah, man. So
So, but other than that, we finna sign off. Yeah, we did a little extra for y'all. We've been talking about signing off, so I had to get in that little funny story. So, on behalf of Jimmy JSmoove, tune in to his little content and subscribe to him on his YouTube channel, the Jimmy JSmoove Network. Subscribe to me. My name is Craig Jericho. That's Jericho on my YouTube channel, Craig Jericho. Subscribe to me so you can look at content what I got on there because I'm gonna try my best to start posting videos. But until then, on behalf of Jimmy JSmoove Network, Craig Smith II, happy holidays. Be safe. Take care. God bless. See you next weekend. Peace.
peace.